Ladies, gentlemen, and Transformers alike, I wanted to bring you this special broadcast to help you to understand the one key and unbelievably important thing that you have to recognize and understand before that you can actually complete transformation, before you can actually move forwards, knowing that no matter what happens when we ride these roller coasters, we go through these ups and these downs, because as you should know, relapse is absolutely critical in you being able to recognize the mistake you've made to be able to move forwards. It's one singularly important thing that will hold you back for the rest of your life, or unlock the door and allow you to feel inspired by knowing this, is that the one key factor holding you away from the results that you truly want, you say you want, and you've targeted, is your stories. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by your stories is the ability for you to understand that in deep-seated stories that are planted inside of your subconscious mind, there are things which are going to alter your emotion, alter your decisions, and you're not even going to recognize them sometimes as to being a defining factor in the course that you take down this transformation, any other transformation, or any other part of your life. And until you can stop to think consciously about the decision that you're going to make based on previous episodes that may or may not have planted emotional appetites inside of your subconscious mind, then you are on a loss. You'll question, why did I make that decision? You'll be mad at yourself, upset, angry, resentful, annoyed even, because you made a decision that you know isn't in line with the goal and the outcome, but you did it unconsciously, aware of the outcome. And the reason you do that is because something has happened in the past. It doesn't even have to be a traumatic event. I'm not talking like PTSD or anything like this. I'm talking about the fact that one time you were presented with a stimulus and you had the opportunity to say yes or no, or so you thought. That's the important decision. I'm going to say yes or no to this, and this is exactly where we as human beings go incredibly wrong, because it's not a yes and no decision that is defining in what we do. It's the emotion associated with that decision when presented with a stimulus. For example, going and looking over the edge of a cliff. Some of you might already be right now trembling and thinking, God, I don't like heights. I couldn't possibly go and do that. That right there is a story. Have you ever fallen off a cliff? The answer to that is probably no. Because if you had, you would either not be with us or you'd be nowhere near the edge of a cliff. But if you are presented with that stimulus, there is a seed of thought or doubt. For me, if I was afraid of heights like my sister is, that seed of doubt would stem from my mother. Because she implanted into us when we went near the edge of a hill or what looked like a drop, she would get hysterical about the fact that we were going near to that point. And so that planted a seed inside of my sister's subconscious mind that she should be afraid of heights, and she's still struggling with that today. And why I'm telling you this is because you need to recognize that it's not just a simple yes or no when you are presented with the stimulus. There is an emotional reaction associated with that decision that you may or may not have already made the choice associated with that decision. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're already afraid of heights, there's no way you're going to go and look over that cliff. But at the same time, if you're aware of that and overcoming your sense or height, your sense of height of fear, you want to overcome your fear of heights, you're going to challenge yourself to say, why am I afraid of heights? Why am I saying no to this? I'm going to take one step forwards towards that goal, because you're consciously bringing that thought and that emotion to the surface to understand the story that's taking place and to the reason why, to help you to overcome that decision. And the problem is, guys, stories come up everywhere at every single point during the day. The reason you get in your car and you turn the key is because that's what you need to do to turn the car, and you don't question that story. It just happens because it's habit, and you need to do it to get to the result. The result is you want the car to start to be able to get you to work, go and drop the kids off, whatever it might be. Now, if you got in your car one day and there was no key slot, what would you have to do? You'd have to rethink the story. You'd have to redesign it so that your subconscious mind knew that if it was a push button start when you got in the car, the next time you got in there, you pressed the button, you didn't put the key in and turn the key. So what we do inside of transformation as transformers is we help ourselves to understand the story. We don't question why. The fact that you did something, what you deem as wrong, in accordance with the result or the outcome that you want is a great thing. It empowers you to help you to understand the mistake that you made or the decision that you made, which allows the story to be revealed. So you can either not repeat it or learn from it and adapt and change the story to get a better outcome the next time around, or better yet, abolish that fear completely. And as you start to understand and recognize the hundreds of stories, there are hundreds of them that take place each and every single day. There is 50 to 60,000 words of subconscious dialect that your mind tells yourself subconsciously, without thought and process, every single day, for you to autonomically repeat tasks. Now imagine that subconscious thought that takes hold of a fear and says, do not do that. And do you know what? The only way for you to move forwards inside of transformation or any other aspect of your life, diet, nutrition, career, prospects, family, love, sex, connection, is to get outside of your comfort zone. 50 to 60,000 words of subconscious dialect that you speak to yourself unknowingly each and every single day. The average storybook, good novel, is 80,000 words. And you're speaking 50 to 60,000 words each and every single day to yourself. That is why we need to know and understand the stories and take control of our actions consciously to make sure that we can remain outcome driven and get to the result.